Q5. Why is ethics difficult to practice but easy to preach? Comment. 150 words. General Mahatma Gandhi once stated, practice what you preach. Gandhi wasn't able to tell the woman's son to give up sugar a week ago because then he didn't give it up sugar himself. After he did it himself, he was able to tell the boy with more conviction and power. His message had a backbone to it. So the closer you are to mirroring whatever the message is that you're communicating, the more powerful the message will come across. Ethics is difficult to practice because www.insightsanindia.com 9 www.insightsays.com. Upholding high moral principles is not easy. Strength of character is tested. Avoiding temptations, diverting towards an easy solution. Stick to integrity, self-control, discipline, etc. Practicing ethics is being able to solve the ethical dilemmas, acting in the emotional, intelligent way, facing adversities for larger interest, etc. Practice shows the suffering undergone by the person itself, so they have experience. However, preaching is just saying what you know without actually experiencing it. In a society, everyone knows corruption is bad and affects society as a whole, but when it comes to their own situation, people defend being corrupt, saying it is part of the society. Similarly, untouchability is a crime. People speak one should respect anyone irrespective of prescriptive criteria. However, when their own child wants to marry a scheduled caste person, relatives and parents oppose. In the digital world, there are thousands of blogs out there that teach personal development, yet only a select few that actually give sound advice. The reason behind that is that it's simple to read information and rewrite it, but putting oneself in one's shoes is difficult. Topic: attitude, content, structure, function, political attitude. One of your friends thinks that ethics is overrated and it has no place in actual world where people are often moved into action by selfishness and self-interests. He believes that ethics has no place in politics, as practice of ethics in politics has lost its ability to win votes. He tells you that even the public, who expects politics to be free of corruption and unethical practices, seldom raise their voice against lack of ethics among politicians. He is of the opinion that it's a futile exercise to clean politics, as coexistence of good and bad is rule of nature, and we should not try to alter this balance. Q1. What are your views on your friends' observations and opinions? Analyze. 200 words. General ethics is a requirement for human life. It is our means of deciding the course of action. Without it, our actions would be random and aimless. There would be no way to work towards a goal because there would be no way to pick between the limitless number of goals. Selfless deeds put people apart from selfish facts. Selflessness is often overlooked as a key to happiness because, on the surface, it appears to run contrary to the very notion. Politicians are representatives of common people, hence ethics, which are moral values, are relevant in politics. Ethics in politics brings in humane feelings of empathy and compassion for different sections of the society, hence establishing a welfare state. It brings in transparency in decision-making, thus building up trust between public and politicians. When ethical standards are set and followed, the ideals of democracy and constitution are held high. With great power comes great responsibility. However, with the recent incidents of representatives distributing money for votes, indulging in corruption, centralizing and misusing powers, there is considerable decline of ethics in politics. But there are many instances where leaders are elected for the development work in their constituencies and not because they use illegal means to win. There have been many instances like the anti-corruption movement, right to information, where people along with whistleblowers have raised voice against such behavior of politicians. There is also Election Commission, which raises alarm and initiates contempt proceedings against the leaders who misuse election campaigns. Clean politics is the necessity for India, as the country's development and future depends on the initiatives taken by the leaders. So good has to prevail over the bad. There have been instances in the past when some populistic measures were taken, but at the national level the governments strive for the overall development of the country. So it is time people take active part in politics and act on it from inside and along with efforts to make the system transparent and accountable. Citizens of the country need to be made conscious decisions in not letting unethical